Yes, we understand the concept of using the avatar bodies. This has been shown in movies, and this has been opened into your conscious minds of how you are experiencing life on Earth. Joanne's higher self is a stronger version of herself, the more evolved version of herself, and there are other versions of other versions of the higher self that are currently having other lifetime experiences in different dimensions and different locations. And we want to use the analogy of the Russian doll. The biggest Russian doll is the higher self and that lifetime experience. And then the higher self has lent out essences of itself to be able to embody other beings, to be able to have those lifetime experiences. And it keeps going on and on and on and on and on to be able to experience all that the higher self wants to experience. So it's not as you see with the movies where the higher self is in a capsule, and it is merely having a dream within a dream within a dream of the lifetime of Joanne, for an example. That does not happen. You literally can have your fragment of your soul placed into another body and be able to have a complete experience of that body's life or that being's life. And if the higher self wanted to have a partial experience, they would put their soul essence into an existing body. And that's how we would like to explain the walk-in scenarios. So every life has a purpose and a lesson that higher self wants to explore. And so the question is, how does, when Joanne's body gets upgraded into the crystalline, does, for example, she merely merge into her subconscious's body and evolve that way, and then come back down as that evolved being, as the Turian, for an example? That is not the case. You cannot merge like that. You cannot be absorbed like that into other beings. Joanne has a physical body, and she will go and be upgraded into a less physical body, and she will come back down to serve out the rest of her mission as the last final parts of the 3D dimensional world exists. And this is what she has wanted to experience. This is what her higher self has wanted to experience more, shall we say. And so this is being set as a mission, that when the higher self and all the other sort of versions that are learning and growing for the higher self came part of the purpose that your own counsel, shall we say. And so when there is another lifetime that's going to be formed and agreed upon, most of the versions of Joanne's higher self and then the subconscious and all other versions of herself currently all merge together. They all work together as a team to write the contract of what they wanted this other version of themselves as Joanne to experience and learn from. So it's a team effort. This is why you're never truly alone, because yourselves, your other versions of selves are always there, and you are team working and supporting each other. In your daytime, you live and experience your current lives as you see and feel. And in your nighttime, your soul essence will go and explore your other fractions of yourselves, and help, if you can, lend that energy, experience and learn and grow from. So you're all growing from each other, you're all learning from each other, you're all supporting each other. And when one part of the fraction of yourself is struggling more or experiencing something more fantastic, you are all supporting and you're all there. So when Joanne's physical body is being retired We don't want to say die, because we know you're very attached to your bodies and you get uncomfortable when we say that. So when the body is on retirement and placed into retirement, her soul will merge back in with the collective of the higher self. And in all of the beings that are versions of Joanne's soul essences. So it is like the Russian doll. While you get absorbed, you don't necessarily go into the absorption. Joanne will not be absorbed into the higher self, and then the higher self will not, Joanne's body and mind, Joanne's mind, her consciousness will not be absorbed into her subconscious's world. It will go to the higher self. And so while we want to use the analogy of the Russian dolls, you don't get absorbed by the next dimension up. It doesn't work like that. You will get absorbed into the higher self, which is the larger Russian doll, which then, of course, the larger Russian doll, being your higher self, will then get absorbed back into source. So you are all part of this collective consciousness, learning and growing and exploring. We understand this can be making you feel like your lives are a little bit insignificant if you're just one small clog. And you're not. You're very important, and you all learn from this and grow from this. And while you're experiencing this lifetime, feeling like you are alone, and this is, you're just you, and you're not connected to anything else, we understand that this can be a strange concept to realize that you are, your soul fragments are in other bodies, having other lifetime experiences, doing other jobs, exploring. We don't want you to think that you're the bottom of the litter, bottom of the line. You are important, just like each other version of the Russian doll analogy, as we say. So they're all the same size. You're all important. Just because we've used the analogy of the Russian dolls, we don't want you to think that you're the smallest, tiniest little being that's insignificant. You're all, if you're going to have a true reality statement, it would be all of the Russian dolls are the same size as the biggest Russian doll. But it was an analogy that we wanted to use to see that there was this progression of you're connected because you all can be put in together when you're all packed in together, but it doesn't go in linear. So it doesn't matter if the subconscious then merges in with the higher self before Joanne does. So we understand this can be a bit confusing. We've tried to simplify it for you. But your bodies are your bodies. You are experiencing a genuine full life. And you're going to have this privilege and honor to be able to be upgraded into your crystalline body, so you can experience not only the third dimensional lives that you've had so far, you'll experience evolving an epic step up into the fifth dimensional body with the fifth dimensional mindset. And this is why this was a very important lifetime for many. And this is why so many people wanted to come into Earth right now. There wasn't enough bodies to be able to perform everyone's wishes to experience this lifetime, this current time in the history of the planet. And so this is why you've got a lot of extra walk-ins right now experiencing this. They didn't want to have to endure the heaviness of an actual full lifetime, so they've come in earlier now. So they've come in just prior to experience it and to observe it and feel it. Feel what it feels like and experience it. So while there will be one individual body, there could be a few soul essences exploring and experiencing this. Again, you're not being invaded and you're not being possessed by negative entities or spirits. This is completely agreed upon by your higher self to have these happen. So there is nothing to worry about. There's never anything to really fear. This is all fantastic. This is a journey. You're growing and exploring. And so this is important. And we understand that some of you may not even be interested in understanding this or wanting to know more about this because it just feels too mind bendy. And that is completely fine. You don't need to hear and understand this information to be able to move forward and ascend and do what you need to do, or be revealed to yourself later down the track.